Okay, so let's stand up tall, feet hip width, lengthen up our spine, take the shoulders back and just tuck the tail and soften the knees. Can we shoulder roll here, please? Breathing in to lift and out to roll. Breathing in and out. One more time. And then let's go hands on shoulders for a bigger circle. Lovely. Breathing in. And 2 more. Let's go right arm full circle. Slow the whole thing down. Eyes follow hand, head turns. Go the other way. So trying to get some mobility through the shoulders, but also through the neck and the spine now. Just waking up the back. Keep that moving, please. Couple more. Finishing with one on the left. And then gripping the hips, soften the knees. Start to move through pelvic tilt, please. So softening down the tailbone, pulling the belly button in, pulling up on the pelvic floor, keeping the upper half of the body quite still as we move. Couple more. And then settle in a neutral pelvis, please. Standing up, let's pull up through the thighs now. Look straight ahead. Let's balance up on the toes. So I want you to think about maintaining that neutral spine that you've just set up. Then I want you to think about getting height through your feet. If all of that is okay, you can go for height through the arms, but make sure the ribs don't lift as you extend. Keep the shoulders relaxed, so maintain that space between the ear and the shoulder. Don't let them creep up. And then stabilize those ankles, pushing the big toe into the floor. Just one more. And relax. Just shake that off, please, and then have a bit of a rotation. And then let's come into side bend. So bring the feet a little narrower. Can we tuck the tail again and soften the knees? And then start to slide down the side of the body. And you can just do that with your arms relaxed if that feels better for you. Or you can reach with one and pull on the other. But the pelvis needs to stay quite still. So pull the tummy in, little connection into your glutes, switch them on. You can go all the way over to an extension through the shoulder if that feels good. And if you're doing that, lift first and then stay reach. Don't collapse into it. Couple more. Lovely. Okay, just shake that off and we'll come to rotation next. I'm going to take my feet slightly wider again. Hands on shoulders. Little connection into the glutes and abs. Breathing in. Breathing out, turning to the right corner. Just the right front corner. Come center. So my eye gaze is going to the corner, but I'm not twisting my neck. So my nose is staying level with my breastbone. And I'm focusing, it's only a small range, I'm feeling it across those bottom few ribs. That's where I want the movement to come from. So you're getting into those facet joints in the back. Just one more. and relax. Good. Let's have a look at balance. Standing on the left leg, right leg forward. Check your pelvis is level. Tummy in, lift the foot, flex and point. Rotate slowly. Go the other way. And change, forward and lift, tummy in, flex and point. Rotate. Bigger range of movement as you can get around that joint. And then the other way. Brill, relax, shake it off. Let's go hands on tailbone. So, neutral spine as we hip hinge. Soften the knees, tummy in. Forward we go, leading with the chest. Try to get some length in the back of your neck, but don't drop your head. So feel that the chin is slightly tucked in. Might give you a double chin. And come on up slowly with the abs engaged. Super. Keep that moving, please. So this is just going to be led by you. So go slowly, go far enough to feel a stretch in the hamstrings and glutes unless you have any back pain. And then if it feels good to hold it there, you can hold it. If it feels good to just keep moving through the joint, then just keep moving through the joint. Can put your hands on your thighs if you want to get a bit lower and your back's not great, you can go there. Make sure it's still flat back. Couple more. Coming into our last one. Super. Give everything a shake, and then we'll go in squat next. So if you've got a hog, use your hog. Otherwise, stay on the floor. So I'm going to go smooth side of the hog, so it rocks forward and back. My left foot is on, my right foot is to the side. You can do this on the floor if you wish. So make sure your weight's not moving across. Make sure it's in the centre. Sitting back into a squat. Now, as I come up, if you're on the hog, you only want to lift your right heel. If you're not on the hog, you can lift both heels. Sitting back, breathing in. Breathing out, coming up. Keep that moving, please. Come diagonal so you can see me a bit better. Guys, this time, come up, hold the balance. Arms come out to the side, full circle. Drop the heel and squat. Breathing in. Breathing out, come up and balance. As the arms come down, the heel comes down. So let's have one more like that. Good, guys, we're going to add a knee lift now, so different pattern. If you just want to lift your heel, that's fine. So arms come chest height this time. Lift the knee if you can, and then we'll bow and arrow to the right side. You can do that with your toe down if you prefer. Good, keep that moving, please. So if you're not on the hog, heels can stay down, and you can just bow and arrow to the right side. So knee up or down. Next one is your last one. So make sure you feel challenged but not unsafe. And come down when you're ready. Maybe just give those ankles a little bit of a release, and then come to the other side, please. So we'll start with the arm, the heel float and the arm circle. So weight central, sit back squat, come up onto one foot or the toes of 2 feet, circle as you push down, the heels drop. Breathing in, breathing out. Just keep that flow moving at your own pace. Tummy pulled in. Nice long spine. Big rotation through that shoulder girdle. Try to have the arms moving evenly. So if you know one of your shoulders is stiffer than the other, really focus on getting that circle to even itself out. And now we're going to add the knee lift for those that can. So the arms are only coming to chest height now. And then we bow and arrow to the left. Good. So if you're doing that on the floor, you can do it with your heels down, or you can pick your knee up to you. Keep it moving slowly. Lovely. Last one. Super. Come down, give everything a bit of a shake. Release your spine. Hamstring stretch. So I'm putting my right foot in the middle, hinging back, dropping the chest, lifting the bottom. Hands are on my left leg. I am rocking my hub. Uncurl your spine and change legs. So hinging back, standing leg is bent. Working leg is straight, rocking the hog or flexing and pointing the foot. And then uncurling the spine. Super, give everything a bit of a shake there. Move your hog out of the way. And let's come through a little bit more mobility for the spine. So, can you just take your hands in front and squeeze your shoulder blades, and then take them up to an extension. Come on down. Guys, if it feels okay, as the arms come forward, chin to chest. Arms open, extend. Can you lift your rib cage? Look up. Come on down. Into a little bit of flexion. Reach up into extension. So just working through the upper back. One more time. Flexion, extension, upper back and neck. Super, guys. Arms come in and down. Join me in the squat position. Lower back, flexion and extension. Now I want you to keep your shoulders and head in line. Don't move them. Your focus is the lower back. Because you've got more movement in the upper back, the temptation is to move through the upper back, but that's not going to release your lower back. So upper back fixed, lower back moving, just like when we do standing tilts. Uncurl all the way up. And relax. Super. Let's come down onto the floor. So put your mat down, please. And if you need some cushions or a towel or anything you need for a bit of padding, make sure you've got it. And then take what equipment you have to the floor. We're going to be working with weights. If you've not got weights, maybe some water bottles or some tins. So when you're ready, join me on the floor and we'll go back to the spine stretch we've just been doing. So rolling through the spine, flexion, extension, taking some breaths, thinking about the hand position, hands directly under shoulders with soft elbows. Hips are directly over knees, not falling forwards or backwards. And then settle in a neutral spine, please. Let's have Superman from here. Draw the belly button up, take a breath in. As you breathe out, right arm forward, left leg back, extend and hover. We're going to continue to reach the arm to the front and the leg to the back. Guys, we're going to do 4 moving. This is number 3. And then we are going to hold number 4. So can we hold here now? Engage your abs, challenge that balance. Still breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Smooth transition to the other side. Moving first. Breathe in. Breathe out, extend and lift. 4, think about the pelvic stability and the shoulder stability. Right elbow is soft, not locked. 3, can you hold number 4, please? Extend and hold, and we stay here. Squeeze the bottom, get a little bit more height through the leg if you can. 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Let's repeat that. Right side. Sliding, lifting on an out breath. For 4, 3, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. 2, reach to the walls and hold. Really pull up on your abdominals, squeeze the left buttock, watch the hip hasn't rotated. 3, 2, 1, come on down, change sides, coming into our last set, guys. So 4, extending, lifting on an out breath. 3, 2, last one. Hold. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Well done. Spine stretch. So I'm going to go cat and then I'm going to sit back into shell. Hands anywhere you want them, in front, under your head, to your ankles. Just taking some breaths there. Good. Draw your hands in and uncurl. Guys, if you're happy in cat stretch, just come forward and give me a cat stretch before we go to rotation. If you're okay with a downward dog, join me there. So I'm transferring my weight back. Stretching my calves and hamstrings, stretching my shoulders. If you'd rather be in cat stretch, be in cat stretch. So a couple more nice long slow breaths as you're there. And then if you're on your toes, join me again on your knees. Release the toes at the back. As we're going, thread the needle next. You can do it with your ball or you can do it with a dumbbell if you prefer. So ball will help with your range of movement a little bit more. Dumbbell will add resistance. So my left leg is out to the back, and then I don't want my hips to sit back as I move that leg. I want my hips to stay forward. Ball pushing up, breathing in, or dumbbell. Coming down, threading through the gap and rolling across the ball or pushing through with the dumbbell. Lovely. So feel that you've got body weight into this arm. Don't let it go back. Push it forward. If you need your knees side by side, that's fine. But if your leg is out to the back, have it quite straight to stop the pelvis moving around too much. Going to do one more on that side. And then come on back, just drop your ball or dumbbell in the center. Have a little release, maybe release your wrists if you want to. Set yourself up on the other side. So right leg is extended if you can, toes are under, and then hips are over knees. Dumbbell or ball pushing up, coming down, threading through the hole. So you can roll across the ball, or you can keep the ball or the dumbbell in your hand. So upper body weight loading into the right arm. Eyes following hands. Super. Breathing into open and breathing out to thread through. Super. Let's have two more on that side. As big a range of movement as you can manage there. And then when you've finished your last one, get rid of whatever you're using. Cat or shell. Release the spine, the hips, the wrists, the shoulders. If you'd rather be in the seated position, we'll go in there next. So just take a couple of breaths wherever you are. I'm going to uncurl my spine. Come on down onto my bottom. So let's go half roll back. Get some movement through the spine. And then option to add a dumbbell to this at some point if you want to do that. So ball or cushion behind your back. If it's a cushion, it's up close. If it's a ball, it can go further away. Holding the backs of the legs and lengthening the spine. Opening the chest. Inhaling. Exhaling, scooping and rolling. Landing on the ball. Letting go if we can. Activate the lower abdominals. That's where you want to feel it. Rolling forwards. Lengthening up, inhaling. Exhaling, scooping and rolling. Bow and arrow. Lovely. So if all of that feels okay, option to put your hands together and rotate a little bit further, perhaps do 2 or 4, and also option to pick up a dumbbell and add a little bit of resistance. So you don't want to add a weight, just try the 2 arms because that gives you a bigger rotation. Again, it can be 1, 2 or 4. Lots of movement through the upper back. So lower back coming into flexion, upper back coming into rotation, and then the lower fibers of those abdominals really switching on. I'm going to do one more set. So keep moving slowly, taking your time, really engaging your abs. Lovely. When you've done that last one, Pop your weight off to one side and then just come forward and relax over your legs, please. Uncurl your spine. Excuse me. So let's have a little look at some seated rotation. So if you've got a hog, sit on your hog. If you've got a cushion or a block, sit on that. Something that lifts you up a little bit and gets your bum bones off the floor. So I'm on the smooth side of my hog. Yeah, and I'm just going to let it tip forward slightly so I've got a nice straight back. And my legs are in that same wide bent knee position they were in before as my start position. So I'm going to start by putting the tips of my fingers together. Nice long spine. I'm going to take a breath in. As I breathe out, I'm going to open and turn my head a little bit like when we do a side lying open door. I'm going to close back up slowly. I'm going to open the other way and breathe out. Turn my head. I'm looking at my thumb and I'm closing up. We're going to keep this moving. If you're confident that you can do this with your legs out straight, come into a V position with your legs. If you want to keep them bent, that is fine, keep them bent. So what I really want here is for you to focus on not rounding your spine. Keeping your spine long and extended and your tummy pulled in. Guys, if everything feels okay, little change of breath pattern as you open pulse. Inhale to come back. So you want to be able to hear your breaths. It's a forced breath. So good for improving that lung capacity. Hear the breath, like you're blowing strongly down a straw. Shoulders are relaxed. Arms are only at chest height. Couple more. Coming into my last one. Lovely. And then with your legs bent or straight, can we go hands to the floor? So as we tip forward, get a little stretch around the hips and obviously down the hamstrings if your legs are straight. Use your breaths now, like we do at the end of the session sometimes to develop the hamstring. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, just drop a little bit lower if you can. So either walk your hands further forward or aim your elbows towards the floor. Head can drop. Neck and shoulders can relax. Can you just go a little bit further? And then come on up slowly, please. Super. Bring your legs in. Give them a bit of a shake or a hug, whatever feels good there. And then come off that hog and onto your back, please. Set yourself up with your weights either side. And then everything else where you can get to it quite easily. I'm going to go with a head block. Knees coming in. And drawing a circle with my hips. Coming to center and holding here. So with your knees in first, give me single leg stretch away. Breathing out long and slow as you extend. So you can either pull on your knee or you can hold the backs of the legs. So although we're working into the abdominals, I'm trying to open the hips at the front and back. So I want a big range if your hips and knees allow. Peel your head and shoulders off the floor. And if you can add a rotation, add a rotation. Now you can go to a toe tap or a knee lift, or you might even just want to do lower half of the body, or you might just want to do upper half of the body. If you're able to go elbow to knee, fingers to temples, go there, please. So knee pulling all the way in at this point. 5, 4, good, 3, 2, and 1. Relax, good. Give your knees a little hug. We've got a second set coming now in tabletop if you can. So I'm going to guide my knees over the hips and they're going to stay there. If you're working with feet on the floor, you just want your knee to lift to tabletop. So either 1 or 2 knees in tabletop. From here, stretch the leg or tap. But now I'm focusing on my knee not coming in, so I can get down into those deep lower abdominals. Fingertips coming to the base of the skull. This time, I want your head to be heavy on your hands. And then I want you to lift from the breastbone if you can. Pushing the head into the hands, but using the hands and arms to lift you up. So you should feel resistance in your arms as your head is dropping into the hands. Long, slow breaths as we heel slide, knee lift, or stretch that leg away. Super. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Super. Full body stretch, please. Legs away. Arms overhead or out to the side if your shoulders are tight. Allow the back of your rib cage to come into extension. Allow your abdominals to stretch. And then we hold here. And we take some breaths slowly. Bring the arms over. Draw the legs in one at a time. Super. Guys, feet and knees together with maybe your ball or your hug between your knees and your feet and ankles touching. Arms out to the side. Just raise your heels a little off the floor so that you're just on the balls of the feet. Rolling to the right, turning the head to the left, breathing in. So a nice long slow roll to feel that stretch around the hips, the lower back, the waist, creeping up the rib cage, but the shoulders stay down. So if that feels like what you need, you're just going to continue to do that until you feel like your back has released. If you want a bit more, brace your abdominals. Legs come to tabletop. If there's back pain, knees can come in, but keep them in tabletop otherwise. Rolling right and left slowly. So this is a smaller range of movement when your feet are off the floor. We're going for strength through the waist, rather than a really big rotation. So I don't want your rib cage to lift off the floor much. Bottom 1 or 2 ribs. Your progressions are hands on the rib cage, toes to the ceiling, either or. I've moved my ball between my feet. And then arms extended, but shoulders pinned down is your final option. So the arms are swaying in the opposite direction to the legs. However, the shoulders are not lifting. So the rotation is small. This is more about stabilizing through the spine. So moving through a small range, but with control, adding that strength, the weight of the legs to your waist there. Super duper. over. And relax when you are done. And then get rid of your equipment, please. Just bring your heels close to your bottom feet apart and give me some pelvic tilts there. So can we just pelvic tilt from the waist downwards? Short range pelvic tilts. Lovely. Let's come into chest flies. Pick your weights up. You can do this with your band. If you don't have weights, up over the chest. Shoulders relaxed and pressed down. Arms are moving through a wide chest fly. If there is shoulder or neck pain, please pull down from your elbows. Start with your feet on or off the floor. Spine imprinted if you're off the floor, guys. Breathing in to open. Breathing out to close. Keeping the tailbone down. Super. If all is well, you can toe tap or knee lift. You can heel slide or you can single leg stretch away. Whichever one you're doing, your spine shouldn't have any movement in it. So if your feet are on the floor, you should be in neutral rather than imprint. If your feet are off the floor, then you should be in imprint. Lovely. And so for your last four, if you feel like you could do a double leg stretch with your feet glued together, do that. But make sure you are not pulling through your back, your rib cage isn't lifting. So if you are doing double, perhaps don't take them quite as low. Just stretching the toes to where the ceiling meets the wall. And so that next one will be your last one. And then we'll relax and come all the way down. Super. Can we take our feet the full width of the mat, knees bent, arms out to the side, palms up, and we're rolling. So those windscreen wiper knees, while the chest is open and stretching from those weights. Lovely. So let's come over onto all fours for tricep. Now if you'd rather work your tricep on your back, that's fine. But join me on all fours with your dumbbells or your band, please. So if you're going to do this with your band, just make sure you've got enough resistance in the band to make it effective on the tricep. Right hand is starting on the hip, left leg extending out to the back. I'm going to keep my legs still, pressing back on my right arm. If you're doing this on your back, you can do singles or doubles, you can alternate, up to you. But if you're on all fours, I'm just working through the right side of the body at this moment. I'm now going to squeeze my left buttock, press into my left hand, and float the left leg. So focusing on keeping my shoulders, my spine and my pelvis still, whilst my right arm is moving there. And then if all of that feels okay, I'm going to slow the whole thing down and start to move the opposite leg. So this is a bigger movement, I need you to slow it down. If you're on your back, you could do single knee lifts or a heel slide. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Super. Have a little breather, whatever position you're in. And then we'll set it up on the other side. So if you're on all fours, your right leg coming out to the back, your hips stacking. Start position is left hand on the hip as you push backwards and upwards. I'm going to come this way so you can see me. Squeeze the buttock, float the leg. Lovely. So the leg is currently still. So the focus at the moment is on working the tricep and on keeping everything still and stable. So if you're happy that your spine is stable, leg can start to move in and out. We slow the whole thing down. The movement becomes a bit bigger. We are still exhaling as the arm extends from the elbow joint. The shoulders are not moving. Super. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Get rid of your weights. If you're on all fours, cat or shell. If you're on your back, stretch any way you want to. Going to release my wrist. I'm going to take my hands to my ankles. Let my shoulders just relax there. Taking some breath. Let's draw the hands in, support the body weight, and uncurl. Lovely. I'm coming down onto my bottom now and onto my side. So I'm going to work inside lying. I'm going to put hog or a cushion under my head. Just have your chi ball nearby. I'm going to do some clam first. So come on down. Have your feet level with your bum. So you're in a straight line, head, hip, ankle. Knees are slightly forward, hands are together. Your start position for clam, shoulders and hips stacked, toes can be up or down, taking a breath in, breathing out, rotating into clam. Good. And coming down slowly on an in-breath. Please think about your posture. Pull the belly button in, lift the bottom rib away from the mat, move on an out breath. If you feel okay with it, rotate the leg, then extend and flex the foot. Point the toe, come back, and drop the knee. Super. If you want to work with your hand on your bottom, check what's happening. See where you can feel the activity. Is it more around the back, around the sides? Is it in the bum? Is it in the outside of the thigh? So you should be feeling it round everything that connects into your hip. Guys, if you can hold your last one up in the bent or straight position, go there and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Toes come in, come on down. Lovely, relax. Guys, we're going to go top leg over bottom leg. If you need some support for your knee, use your ball or your cushion. So I'm just resting my knee on the floor, the ball or the cushion. The foot is on the floor. Palms together. Roll into open door, please. So you can hold the stretch for a few breaths if that's what you need. Or you can open and close it. Or you can relax the elbow and the wrist and come into backstroke. So nice big circle. Taking your time, moving slowly. Next one is your last one. Good. Okay, coming into waist now. So guys, we're going to be lifting up. Your options are ball between the knees, lifting 2 legs, or ball underneath the bottom leg, so you're still challenging your stability and lifting 1 leg. So up to you where you want to go with this. I'm going to go ball between my ankles or my knees, doesn't matter where it is. So nice straight line, check you're in line with the edge of the mat there. Breathe in, breathe out, lift. So we can go 1 or 2 legs and 1 arm. Coming down slowly. We could lift and float the head and neck and really load into the side of the waist. And if your bottom leg is rested on the ball, then you are still really challenging that pelvic stability because you're now on an unstable base. So either of those things are fine. Breathing out on the way up and in on the way down. So guys, we are either going to do a few more of these, or next time you lift, you're going to stay up. So it's up to you. Just continue to lift up and down or stay up. Hand coming to my thigh, going overhead, or drop the head but keep the legs lifted. So either continue with what you were doing or join me for this one. Breathing out to lift still. Breathing in to extend the arm. 2 more. Legs are off the floor if possible. Last one. And relax. Super. I'm going to get rid of the ball. Top leg over bottom leg and relax. If you're able to stretch this leg out a bit more, stretch it out. And then heel to the bottom. If that's available to you around the knee and the ankle, extend the bottom leg. Little pelvic tilt. Thighs are parallel. Come on down the other end of your mat, starting with the clam. So head, shoulders, hips and feet are in one straight line. Knees are forward of hips. Tummy in, stack, hands together. When you're ready, guys, it's clam with the toes down or toes up as your start position. I'm taking a breath in. As I'm breathing out, I'm lifting that top leg. And make sure I've got pelvic stability. Checking where I can feel it. So I can feel it outer thigh, and then as I get to the top, I can feel it in my bottom. And then coming down slowly. When you're ready to add that leg extension, please do. So going outer thigh, extend, squeeze, can feel it in the bum and the hip. Coming in. and down. Breathing slowly. Abs engaged, guys. Lift the bottom rib away from the mat. So as I'm doing this, I'm flexing the foot to extend the leg, and then I'm punching the toe as I lower. So I've now got movement through my hip, my knee, and also through my ankle. So everything in that top leg, all of the joints are getting some activity. Don't go too high if it's bothering your back, or you know that you can feel movement in your pelvis. Better to go small and stable. I'm going to hold my next one up. That can be with a bent or straight leg. Now either just hold and feel the resistance or pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on, in and down, and relax. Ball or cushion coming under the knee, and top leg dropping over bottom leg. So my knee is supported, and then my foot falls to the floor. So my top leg, my bottom leg completely relaxed. Take a breath in, breathe out, rotate. So we want the hips to stay still, but if the legs are relaxed and heavy on the mat, then the hips and pelvis shouldn't move. Eyes following hand. Either hold the stretch or move through it. Now make sure your shoulder's not creeping up by your ear. You only want your arm to be chest height as you open up there. If you're happy with it, you can carry on moving or holding, or you can change for backstroke. Nice floppy wrist and elbow. Working all the way through those rotator cuffs in the shoulders. Head is going with you, trolling across the hog. Top leg is still heavy on the ball and the floor. Keep that moving, please. Lovely. Trying to keep the shoulder away from the ear. Trying to keep the pelvis still. So this is your last one, and then we're going to set ourselves up for that side leg series next. So that might be ball between your knees with straight legs, ball between your ankles with straight legs, or even bottom leg rested on top of the ball. So up to you where you want to be, but we're trying to lift as much of the body off the floor as we can. So hips are stacked, rib is away from the floor. I'm breathing in. As I breathe out, I'm going to lift 2 legs and 1 arm. You might be wanting to just lift 1 leg. And I'm also going to start to lift my head and neck, so that I'm really loading quite strongly into the side of my waist. So just keep that moving. Just going to move this music back a bit. Used to say rewind, but I don't think rewind is a word anymore. Nothing winds. So guys, option to just keep moving through that exercise, or lift up and the legs stay up, and then the top hand comes down to the thigh, goes over the head. As the head drops down to the hog, we breathe in. Breathe out, and so it's just the upper body and the arm that are moving now, and my legs are fixed. If you feel like you need to lift and lower the legs, or even just lower the legs, that's fine. So the equivalent of sort of a standing side bend through that waist, if you like. Inhaling to extend, exhaling to lift. I'm going to do 2 more. Take your time. Feet stay off the floor if possible. Next one is the last one. Brill. Okay, coming down, losing the ball. Top leg over bottom leg and straight if you can get it straight. You might need to put some support under your knee once again. So you might want to put a ball or a cushion there. And then once your leg has released in front of you, We go heel to the bum, stretching knee, quadricep, hip. Little pelvic tilt to make the most of that stretch. Tuck your pelvis under, pull your tummy in, holding there, breathing in, and breathing out, and releasing. Super. Coming onto your back now, and then just do what feels good there, guys. Maybe a pelvic tilt, maybe a knee hug, a hip roll. I'm going to swap out my hug for a block. And then we're going to work with our band next. So release the pelvis and the lower back. And then when you're ready, you can pick up your band and take it round the sole of the right foot. So stretching everything that runs down the back of the leg. The elbows are on the floor. Bottom leg is extended if possible. Can be halfway out if you don't want to go all the way. And then I'm aiming to stretch my calf, stretch my hamstring, but also the joints. So the ankle joint, flex the foot. The knee joint, can you straighten it but not necessarily lock it? And then can you pull the whole leg from this joint here at the hip? So that we get the bottom end of the hamstring where it goes into the bum. Watch your pelvis hasn't tilted. Good, holding there, just taking some breaths. Can you maybe bring the whole leg a little bit closer now that it's started to ease off a bit? It may not have started to ease off. So just bear with what you've got. Should feel like a deep stretch, but not painful. And then if it feels good to sway or circle a leg, you can do that. If your leg is going to cross over your body, then you definitely need to soften the knee off a little bit more. Otherwise, you might be able to work with it quite straight, but not locked. So swaying or circling. If you're circling your leg, then your pelvis shouldn't move. So really switch those abs on and press the bum and the pelvis down. If you're swaying your leg from right to left, then you might well want your bum to lift to get round into the hip and the lower back. Maybe quite big. You might want to soften your knee. And your band could go from right to left hands to help you get a bigger range of movement. So coming back to centre and then changing feet, please. So left hamstring with right leg perhaps extended or not. Tailbone pushes down, heel pushes up, and then we pull the whole leg in. So don't pull from the knee because that's not effective. Pull the whole leg, make sure you've not gone into a pelvic tilt because that's going into the wrong body part. And then we come to where we feel the tension, so it is slightly uncomfortable. We give it time to ease off. Breathe in. Breathe out, pull the whole leg. Push with the heel up, push with the tailbone down. Either just staying on the hamstring or a small sway or circle. So if you're going small just for mobility, then the leg can be quite straight. If you're going for a bigger movement, then soften off the knee. And if you're wanting to cross the body, you can switch hands and lift the bum. So it won't suit everybody to let that leg cross the body. So keep it small if needed. Think about those 4 points of contact, buttocks, shoulders. Lovely. And so we'll just have a couple more of those. And then relax and slip your foot out of the band. Come and join me on all fours, please. And then we'll have a final roll through cat stretch. Long, slow breaths, and you should now be able to roll the full length of your spine. You should have released all of those small joints. You can stay with your cat stretch, or you can come to downward dog. So if you're cat stretching, rolling the full length of the spine. If you're in downward dog, you can either just push back and hold the stretch, or you can pedal the feet and have a little bit of a sway around the hips. Just nice long slow breaths there to finish. And starting to think about coming up from the floor slowly, either through a downward dog or a roll up, or one leg in front of the other. So keep moving, slowly coming to standing. I'm just going to alter the camera there. And then joining me for a nice big stretch, pushing to the ceiling. Stay lengthened, come across to the diagonal corner. And then come back up, stay lengthened, and come across to the diagonal corner. And come back up. And lower down, please. Roll the shoulders, inhaling up, exhaling down. And then rotating through the spine, nice and loose, include the hips, the feet. And we are done. Thank you very much indeed. Come on in.